Welcome back, everyone. Here, CEVO MLG Pro Placements for Season 8. We've got Kinguin versus FlipSid still in the upper bracket. And on to the second map is Kinguin winning their pick of cash 16-9, so not really too unexpected, but this is where FlipSid need to make their stand. This is the one map we've got them pegged to win. If they're going to win any of them, it's Mirage. So on to the pistol round. Metuz, take us through it.
You can already see here that there's an extremely aggressive push from the CTs right through mid. And they've got a lot of information this way. They know that it's likely going to be like this fast push onto A. After the smokes and flashbangs and dissipate, and that's going to be the case. Blade is taking point, but not getting a lot of ground here of the CTs. And now suddenly Blade is all by his lonesome on Tetris with that bomb. He's waiting for the rest of his team to push through connects. They desperately need to start landing some headshots. Bondit goes through. Rain has landed a shot onto Blade. And the terrorists are now in such a bad position that isolated for another, and have both been picked up. So Kinguin with a pretty comfortable round at the end there, and again, not too unexpected because these guys really are the kings of pistols, honestly.
The kings of wins.
I see what you did there.
Aha, the good one. That's broadcasting talent right there. CEVO.com/jobs. If you can make puns like that, we want you on the team. So nice pistol round for Kinguin. And now they're going to go for an eclectic buy. They've got everything. They've got Scream with the Jumping Mag 7 watching B. They've got Fox up on Cat with the P90 and the MP7 from Makalele up on that porch side. The two rifles supporting further back. Well, not so far back in Dennis's point of view. He's in the window jungle area and Rain on top of the ticket booth. As FlipSid with the pistols and smokes going for a set play over here towards B. Maybe some misdirection as they're dropping smokes into the window. See what they can do. It's going to be tough to get past both Scream and Fox. Or maybe it's a fake. We can see everyone jumping off through underpass, trying to maybe get out towards A. Makalele will find Bondic. World Edit fighting here in jungle. Trying to find himself a frag, but he can't quite do it. And Rain gets two. That was quite an elaborate force-up from FlipSid.
Yeah, I mean, it did kind of work up until the moment when World Edit missed almost all of his PT50 bullets. He was trying to rush around the back of the window. Missed his opportunity, does get the headshot onto Rain. It's very nicely done. But I can't even say this is a worthwhile endeavor for FlipSid because they haven't got the bomb planted. It's unlikely they will. And they did commit to this round. This isn't a full-on eco. They had Kevlar, they had Tech 9s. You can see just World Edit is going to have a fair chunk of change to play with because of that headshot that he pulled off with the P250. And match pause. Oh no, it's happening.
No! No!
It's happening!
I don't like those 4 letters. Get them off my screen, Metuz. Fly to America and cover my eyes. Please.
Seems legit. I'll be right back.
That seems like a good way to spend our budget.
Well, I guess we were expecting it at some point. At least we got a map out the way
fully
first.
Expecting it. That's how sad my life is, that I just fully expect it. Fully expect the DDoS. If that's indeed what it is. I don't see anyone disconnected yet. I know Dennis in the past has been the one to have the trouble with it, but I thought he had made changes or refresh his IP or whatever. But Scream has also had some trouble, and it looks like this time it's going to be Scream who's going to be falling out. And even yesterday, Davkos was actually, it wasn't anything malicious, but he was just having trouble with the server in general, maybe the routing for him. So yeah. I did expect some delays. Looks like we got through map 1. I felt like I was too happy, and I guess that's the reason. I was having a good day, but no.
There has to be balance. There has to be balance.
They used Legia last time.
Against Melty a couple of days ago. Because Scream was having the issues then as well, as you mentioned before.
That killed the 16-0 dream against Melty.
It did. I mean, Legi's still a solid player, but no disrespect to him. He's not quite Scream level, is he? And Scream is the kind of guy that again, as I said, maybe he gets his power from his hair, but it's that kind of situation as well where you're wondering how much that's going to impact Kinguin, because it's like, here we go again, right? We're just getting to the momentum. We've got the first map. Things are looking good. We're 2-0 up, and then a player drops and we have to get a stand in, which could really mess up their momentum.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I mean, I'm glad that Kinguin have got the stand-in available and unlocked, because we were pretty critical of them the first time they were running into issues, and everything was very delayed. And they ended up playing it out with 4 people, so that was a bit of a mess. But it seems like they've done their part. So shout out to them. And I'm assuming we'll be giving Legia a shout out in a second, as he would be the one most probable to join the server in Scream's absence. And well, I mean, at least Kinguin have gone off to a very good start, right? They've already got the pistol round. They survived that force up. Now they will have a free one. They could probably win this one with 4 people, as it's just going to be the Glock train from FlipSid. And well, I guess the rifles is where it's going to be coming down to. The real action, the meat and the potatoes of Mirage.
It's frustrating though, from a spectatorial viewpoint, and indeed the players as well, right? Both teams are going to be a bit disappointed by this, but it's just the way of online tournaments, unfortunately. So still waiting for that 5th. Not too much to really break down either.
We can do some more plugs.
Yay!
Yay! All right, so season 8. You guys are like, shut up. We know season 8. No, but go to CEVO.com/season8. You can sign up. The graphics up. I don't feel like spewing it all over the place this time. You guys can read. Basically, we've got divisions. If you pay, you get better servers. There's a lot of money to win, and the LAN finals will be in Columbus, November 6th to 8th. So those dates announced well ahead of time, so as to not conflict with the very busy esports scene. So schedule accordingly. And then, of course, we are looking for more talent to help out, become a part of the CEVO TV production staff. So if you see something you think you could do a better job, well, come do a better job. You can subscribe, CEVO to subscribe. Yes, that word. So used to saying subscribe. You can apply. That's the word I'm looking for. CEVO.com/jobs, looking for producers, in-game cameramen, broadcast talent, and video editors. And it's the NA portion that does need a little bit more assistance. So if you're from North America and looking to help out, that'd be great. If you're from Europe and you don't care about sleeping and want to help with North America, that'd be great. But of course, EU positions available as well. So now that's that. And now we're just back to waiting.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to talk about given the 2 rounds we've seen here on Mirage.
Yeah, I can't really break anything down. Again, if we go back to Cash, if you just joined us, it was 16-9 in the end to Team Kinguin. FlipSid started really poorly on their CT side with 7-1 behind, brought it back to 7-8 at halftime, and I was thinking, okay, game on. You know, things could start to get interesting. And then Kinguin just pulled away. And again, I feel the main issue there was indecision was FlipSid's worst enemy, almost themselves getting in their own heads, perhaps. Mirage is maybe a map they can be a bit more direct and a tiny bit more united and more cohesive as a unit, but there's not too much we can analyze from that first 2 rounds, honestly. It's just a case of Kinguin, their aim, right? Their pistols is always going to be sick. They're probably going to win the vast majority of their pistol rounds and get their one afterwards.
Yeah, I wonder how this will go. FlipSid, I think at least 5 rounds on the T side, and they'll have a pretty good chance, because Kinguin we already talked about. They're more just reliant on their aim coming out on the T side, hitting the entries, and maybe not so much the set strats. Which Mirage, you know, obviously there are quite a few over towards the A site, a few towards B if you really want to use those. Not quite as effective. But I wonder, like we saw FlipSid holding on like very, very strongly onto that A site on Cash. And I feel like they could do the same thing here on Mirage when they, of course, flip the sides. It's very hard not to make that pun. So I think they'll need to hold on the terrorist side and just get a couple rounds on the board. And that'll still make things difficult for them, but I think it'll give them a chance when they flip it around. And very might just come down to the pistol on the second half. If it, you know, does come down to not a lot of terrorist rounds for FlipSid, they'll need to get off to a solid start like Kinguin have done here, and probably will take the 3-0. And it's Legia. He's here, so shout out to him.
And filling in as well with the Mag 7, exactly what Scream did. Nice flash across,
cool.
Jumps up and gets wrecked from Davkov's Glock, point blank range. He had no head armor, which I was gonna maybe draw attention to. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, he's dead anyway. That grenade chunks down.
Money.
Exactly, and that's 3 HP on Bonix. So nearly got picked up by that frag grenade. You're expecting the CTs to take this site back, even though they're a player behind. In this kind of scenario, Fox is pushing up the side here next to the apps just below that. 2 frags quickly exchanged for the CTs make that a third. Last player is Bondic, the aforementioned player with 3 HP. He should be getting P250 down from Dennis, and that will be the defuse. Kinguin take the 3-0.
Yeah, so Legia only having the $800, so basically it's either no armor or you got to spend the $650 to get the Kevlar. Made him very susceptible to the Glock bullets, still at that close range. That almost cost him the round, because that was close. You don't normally expect that, especially just on a B rush. You expect those to be shut down completely, as it's so telegraphed by just the footsteps. coming through those apartments. But they'll hold on, and they lose some of those guns, but it doesn't matter. They're buying up into the rifles now. Makalele's got that op out. Davkos has gone forward as well, so he'll be opping here on the T side. And Blade will start things off with a kill onto Rain, and that's from A-Ram. Makalele peeks aggressive into Palace, and he'll find Bondic, so he'll even it right back up.
These are the kind of rounds as well, especially when you have an AWP in the hands of Davkos that you desperately need to win if you're from FlipSid. And so far they've been doing a pretty good job. These trades will favour the terrorists, but with Blade on 8 HP, that could certainly quickly swing on that pendulum back into Kinguin's favour. Looks like it's going to be a V-push, 3-player stack tier 7th. Well, player 7, I should say. Blade is in mid, who is now going to be moving back around again. The problem is that if he doesn't push through short, because of his low HP, they're going to be very one-dimensional in this execute, and it could be easy for Kinguin to repel this. Legia is just below them. He's spotted players. He relocates, waits for the flashbang, waits for the cavalry to arrive as well, and Fox lands the headshot onto wall. And this is the issue. Not only is the bomb dropped, but again, it's so one-dimensional on the flip side. It should be easy for the CTs to hold off this. The fact they've just lost 2 players, though, makes this interesting.
Yeah, Blade, even though it was dinked, was still able to get quite a few frags there. He'll dodge that Molotov as well. He'll jump out. Still has not quite got the bomb as that went tumbling out of the window when one of those terrorist players died. 2-on-1 though. And it's Makalele alone. Oh, he's just going to push that Molotov. It was not as good as Markov thinks. But he's still ready for it. Probably hears those footsteps. Almost goes down. Both of them living on 8 HP. So I rate that round 8 out of 8.
A great bait from Kinguin, because I thought they'd take that round. I mean, they had a 3-on-3, 4-on-4 with the bomb dropped right in front of Legia's feet, and they lost, just purely down to the aim of Blade. They will be collectively kicking themselves if they just gave FlipSid that round. Because not only is it a round on the board for FlipSid and economy, but now look at their economy. It's really just a mixed bag. A P250 only on Rain with Kevlar and a flash. They've got an open play on Fox, but he wasn't setting the world on fire for me on Cash.
Well, at least your world's not on fire, so that's good.
That's possible.
You can live comfortably. So Team Kinguin in a very awkward round, you know, trying to fill in the gap with people that didn't have weapons or money. Like, they got an op-up, but they had 5.7s and submachine guns, so this has been pretty rough for them. Legia now going to Folly as one of the 5.7 players. It'll be up to Fox. Got that dragon lore. I don't know. Doesn't come with any special abilities. Or does it? I don't know. I don't have one, so I can't answer that. But 1-on-4, he's just going to try to save.
The ability to camp, maybe?
Could turn into a dragon.
That would be pretty sick.
Channel your
and
Liu
a bit
Kang.
OP. Oh man, the MK reference, love it. Speaking of which, I think we're casting ex-Mortal Kombat E-Frag later on this evening in a best-of-3 property. I'm just curious now to see if Kinguin can take down this crazy FlipSid lineup that has been very aggressive. Nice tactics there on T, just a pure A take. They get the bomb planted. Can Fox keep this up? It looks like he might be able to do just that. I'm surprised, judging by his position. I thought he'd be a goner, but we'll let it, just opting to keep onto their weapons and pick their second round up.
Yeah, so Team Kinguin again in an awkward spot. This time they won't have the pistol armors or some of the submachine guns, but they do still have that op on Fox. So if maybe Fox can make some moves, drop some rifles, get him into the hands of his allies, can make a difference. We'll see Range up and out very quick, trying to go aggressive up towards middle. Smoke onto the back of the catwalk, as you so often see basically every round. But FlipSid not trying to take mid control behind that. They are fully situated up in these B halls. And maybe a bit lucky that Kinguin haven't pushed and got aggressive, because they would have had a lot of information if they happened to have pushed aggressive up middle or towards and through A. But here they go. FlipSid storming out into B. Markov hitting the nice shot. That brings down the op. It'll fall over into the hands of Dennis. He'll fall now to Davkos. 5-on-3, and Team Kinguin now just with the pistols. Not much of a chance on this round.
Yeah, it's definitely going to FlipSid once more, and more impressively, I suppose, unless Makalele can pull off a couple cheeky frags here. It should be all 5 weapons moving across to the next round as well. It will indeed do so. Bondic gets the headshot. Legia yet to score a frag standing in. Again, it's that kind of scenario where, do you know how much is he warmed up? Is he coming into this one purely cold, like right off of being suddenly told, look, Scream's having issues, can you step in for us? That's of course going to impact his performance, because typically the player's going to have enough time to warm up before they get into this best of 3. That could come back to haunt Kinguin a tiny bit here. And the fact is, they've gone from 3-0 to 3-3 since Scream has left the server.
Yeah, that is true. Scream is gone. He is a big part of what makes Kinguin so great. And that's, again, it's so unfortunate. And we really wanted to see FlipSid up against the best that Kinguin had to offer on this map and to see if they could do it. Well, it looks like with this lineup that Kinguin has brought, not to, you know, trash talk Leggy or anything, but he doesn't play for the team. Still a solid player, but that does make things a bit awkward, especially on Mirage, the map I think on the CT side where communication is so key, and now maybe that communication on already an international team, everyone I would assume speaking English, they make things pretty rough.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Still yet to score a frag as well. It's not bashing on Legia, because again, there's a lot of external factors that we can't possibly know here, but this is going to be a good buy-up from Kinguin. They did go for a force with some pistol upgrades and Kevlar, but of course with this round loss bonus, the last 4 rounds going to FlipSid, they can afford assault rifles, and this is the moment where Kinguin need to start getting those rounds back. If they lose this, this is another huge opportunity gone. They'll probably be back onto a force buy or maybe even an eco, and then FlipSid start to pull away on their T side. This is a big pressure round for Kinguin.
That it is. Let's see, Fox taking his op and actually getting quite aggressive. He had time to take a picture of Markelov there, then he took the shot. That was nice from Fox. So he gets aggressive, finds that early kill. Bomb down back in those halls as well. So FlipSid will have to take some time to throw a member back there. It looks like it'll be Blade, pick him up the steps and regain control of that bomb. He's even thrown that smoke to make sure that he doesn't get opped himself on his way back, and he's dropping so many Molotovs. He doesn't want to be pushed, apparently. Fox though not going for it, and now another. I don't know, to me that was just so funny. It looked like Mario Blade from the perspective of Fox, trying to just drop down super quick into those stairs. Like he's going through the green tubes.
Still only one player dropping with 30 seconds to play with, and Kinguin, I mean, you heavily fancy them to take this round now. Look at the bomb is. It's still coming up mid, which suggests that they may be going through connector with this, with Bondik trying to entry frag out of Palace. But the fact that bomb has been dropped now in connector has significantly wounded this push from FlipSid. 15 seconds now, and that's going to be Dennis with the second frag. This should be the round. Going to Kinguin. Are they going to get any last-second heroics from Will Lennon? They've got 1 frag, so they're going to make this as costly as possible for Kinguin.
Oh, they didn't even die. Oh, God. After time.
Yep.
That round comes down again to like another awkward situation where it's like FlipSid probably have a 5% chance to win this round. Yes, they're on the T side, and yes, we're actually fairly rich with the 4 rounds in a row they had taken, but they should have just saved.
I think the thing in the back of their head, though, is that they have so much economy. Like, even after this buy, they've got 7,000 on Bondik and 6,000 Markelov, so maybe they were going like for the greed frags and trying to cripple Kinguin's economy. But I agree.
Yeah, but now they would have had
wrong.
10k that they would have had
Exactly.
the rifles that they saved. That's
Yeah.
still, that's way better. They're, again, like, making up numbers, but I say like 10% chance they actually storm out onto A with 20 seconds and win in a 4v5.
Yeah, I agree, especially after that bomb gets dropped in connector. That should have been the red light there on that round. But they went for the jugular, and they came out second best. They have opened up this round, though, with an early frag onto Fox, though, so FlipSid this time do get the entry.
And that being said, like, no team, I think, is going to make that call to save right there, especially on the T side. But I think it's maybe something teams should look at and think about doing as Makalele hits an invisible corner with his smoke. Gotta love the nades in this game. Smoke will go down, looking to block off Legia. He's going to think about getting more aggressive, but as his bullets start to come through, he thinks twice. So he'll push up very nicely, and Rain actually through connector is going to stop World Edit. Players coming up A ramp are flash, but Bondik out of the apartments, or palace rather, will be able to find Rain with that grenade. And Dennis posted up in CT here, so 4-on-3 in favor of FlipSid. Able to get that bomb down. Blade not able to get to a post-plant situation, but the rest of his team are pretty situated. And that'll be Legia from Underpass now retreating out that way.
Yeah, they really need him to keep this up. They may be able to rummage together. Well, actually, no. They probably should be buying next round. But if Legia can get himself a couple kills here, maybe he can drop across some pistols on top of that AWP. I wouldn't expect to see Legia keeping that AWP. Fox has typically been running with it all day, every day for them. Oh, Lex Bondik so unlucky, but it does finish off the frag regardless. So nice little hold from Legia. Was it the bomb that killed him?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's awkward.
Still a death, but Legia really needed that $300.
Yeah, so he does
Maybe really wanted it, I don't know.
Then they are going to save. So they at least keep the open Fox's hands. Maybe they're going to go for like Fox stacking B on himself, and maybe going for an early pick, and the rest of the players going onto a site, and that's pretty much what's going to happen. I like this play. This is smart. It may not end up working, but it gives them a fighting chance of maybe clutching this round, and Davkos has been picked off first from Fox.
Oh, nicely done from Fox, getting that man advantage. Harris, we're trying to get that middle control. Blade has actually got himself into a good spot. Can maybe sit in the connector while his team tries to work B, but no, not going to be the case. Maybe should be the case, because from what we can see, they got 4 people in A just now. Rain is deciding to back off, and here it goes. Markov and Bondic just in the nick of time starting to work themselves out to the B site, but Fox is here, coming back on that catwalk, and, well, he'll be brought down, and FlipSid are able to take that B site, and that'll be a 3-on-3 with all members of Kinguin having to rotate over to B right now. 2 coming up Cat, and it'll be Legia coming through that market.
Only Legia with Kevlar or a defuse kit, or indeed a grenade. So this is looking precarious at best. There is an AWP in shorts. If they can pick that up and run away with it, they may be able to take something and salvage something from this round. But Makalele gets picked off as he tries to do just that. And AK is in the hands of Dennis now as he moves towards the B-Apps T side. And Legia's looking for the exit frags. So this is going to be 6-4. FlipSid starting very confidently indeed on their Mirage T side. Legia is going to get the headshot. Nicely played by him. Picks up the AK. Pretty solid round in the end for Kinguin, especially considering that was ultimately an eco.
Yeah, and I mean, they stack towards A as we see initially. They kind of try to feign that they're playing B by having Fox up on that catwalk, because he did have that op. So it worked out, but unfortunately, FlipSid was, I guess, able to gather that information, to get the read that there was only one playing B, and they got there in time before those rotations came in, or just about the same time, but again, just they killed the Opper, and then the pistols coming in were not too big of a deal. So FlipSid able to get out to 6 right now. That was pretty much, that's a very good scenario for FlipSid to have 6 rounds. It's about all I would have expected, but now we see them already, you know, it's 6-4. They can very well get some more rounds on the board, but maybe it won't be this one. As Rain in Shadow going to bring down 2 kills. Bondic will find him, but then Dennis on the trade out from over those stairs. And now it is only Markelov left in a 1v4 over here towards middle.
Yeah, beautiful headshots from Rain there. And going in single file with Rain is never a solid idea. But of course, playing in Shadow always kind of forces the T's hand in that respect. Markelov has been spotted and fragged from Fox, so a good hold from Kinguin. Only lose the 1 player in the process, which is critically important for the CT's economy. But they have to keep this going. Momentum is key, especially on the CT side. And if they can take the half 9-6, I mean, all things in perspective, it's not terrible for Kinguin. But FlipSid, they have the economy to buy up once more. And we've already seen they've been able to get onto sites. That's not been the issue. Sometimes it's just been finishing off the rounds that's really hampered them.
All right, so looks like Kinguin, I mean, getting a bit more aggressive, you can say, with Legia having jumped into underpass, so that's a pretty nice position. But Bondic finds an entry over there at the A site, and that will leave Dennis all by himself for the time being. Makalele in window, looks like he might go out the vent and rotate around the CT. That's what he's doing. Legia from the underpass will find one, but is traded out, so still a 4-on-3 position for FlipSid, but Fox through the smoke. He's been very good when he's got aggressive through those apartments. With either the op, well, in particular the op, and maybe a bit of luck, but also knowing the angle there. He finds that kill through the smoke with the M4, and that evens it right back up.
And nicely done, but still 55 seconds in the time. FlipSid can play some serious mind games onto the CTs who have to spread super thin. Dennis has played a very aggressive position. I actually love that. It's an off angle. You're not expecting that from the T's, and he has to go and roll the dice when he's on A on his own. And now that suddenly gives Kinguin a pretty big advantage in this round. They can start to encircle, and as soon as these two are noticed, they get quite hairy for FlipSid. That smoke could have very well given away this mid play. Molotov through onto the A side. It's going to be a push through short right now. Davkos has picked off Fox. That's pretty crucial. 22 seconds, and here comes the push onto the site from FlipSid.
Go on to Davkos back at the bench. Blade making his way into that site. To have the control, and Davkos, that's one heck of a headshot onto Makalele, who was trying to run in as he heard that plant. That gets shut down, so now it's all up to Dennis in a 1-on-2. Trying to come in through the market.
So rough for him. He knows where one of the players are. He has got the headshot, has a defuse kit as well, but he has to get a move on. That flashbang not quite connecting. And Davkost, he's surely in the lower position right now. He's only got a tech gun against the AK, but it's more than good enough. And Dennis is going to fall down. FlipSid pick up their 7th. And that could prove to be absolutely crucial to Mirage.
So I'm completely sold on Davkost as the replacement for Simple on this team. He has been so good, and it's not like they've been playing scrub teams on the few occasions that I've seen him really, really step up. That being, of course, Hellraiser yesterday, and today I got up against Kinguin, which is a team that's probably penciled in there right at the bottom of the Tier 1 teams, I would say. So that's a very good performance for Davkost. Finding a 3K right there, especially that shot onto Makalele. That was insane. But Fox has been giving him a bit of trouble from that upper portion of B as the CT defender with either the op, even the M4, and here he is trying to get a second frag. You very much want to find it. Legia also starting to be a bit of a problem. He's here with that FAMAS on Catwalk. World Edit and Bonic, though, do hit the shots. Rain is able to get one. That'll drop the bomb. He's got to reload, though. That nice Icarus fell. M4A1S and World Edit with only 11 HP back there behind bench. He'll go down.
And nice done by Fox. I said it didn't really perform fantastically for me on Cash, but he's been getting some huge impact frags here on Mirage. And notably, as you mentioned, against the AWPer Davkost on FlipSid. These are big, big frags. So he's actually 12 and 9 right now. Joint top fragging on the server with Dennis, his teammate. Kinguin, even though they have the 2 top fraggers, find themselves around behind here on their CT side. It's going to be an eco from FlipSid. You'd expect them to equalize this up, Kinguin. And then all fireworks will ensue in the final round of the half.
So, looking to go for... Do they even... No, don't even have a smoke. They're just going for the 3-2 split onto the A site with the Glock. And, I mean, surprisingly that they even get one. So that's completely shut down. Didn't even have a smoke, as you often will, to just throw on the site and try to plant the bomb for that extra money, which I don't even know in that case if they would have had the opportunity. Team Kinguin are very, very quick to pick up those players running out of Palace and ramp with no armor. So here we go. Last round of the half. 2 Galils coming over to FlipSid, 3 AKs, and a couple nades. But no head armor. Oh man, skipping out on the head armor on the CT side is fine. You don't really even need to mention it anymore because it's so common. But on the T side, that's crazy.
Yeah, they almost like one of them to go for Tech 9 armor instead, like full armor with full grenades. I feel that's a pretty solid strat as well. And they have lost the first player, because as you say, you just get one tapped from the M4 and you're dead. And then you're dead out, you lights out, you're silenced for that round and indeed the rest of this half. So Blade's gone down, and FlipSid, they desperately need an entry frag. And they have got plenty of them so far on their T side of Mirage. That's been more Kinguin's mistakes, I'd say, though, pushing when maybe they shouldn't be. But there's Fox as well, and that's the bomb drop. There's a lot of information across to the CTs. Well, it has answered back, but is it too little too late?
Makalele apparently thinks that was funny. Oh, he thought he killed him. Oh, it's unfortunate for Makalele. Fox, though, again, he's been a bit of a problem. He'll see those feet of Markelov, and he'll be able to take him down through the smoke. Now throwing it back up a smoke of his own. Going to further stop Bondic from making any moves over there with that bomb, but look at World Edit. Even with just a man down, a lot of space being left open as the rotations have gone over towards B. So World Edit, I don't think he quite saw the head of, who is that in the ace site, of Rain. But Rain all alone here behind that firebox. And actually, I think, yeah, Rain, World Edit trying to push past, and it's then World Edit who gets caught off guard. So that's that, 8-7. Bit of a comeback required there for Team Kinguin as they had dropped down pretty far. When you got to the first rifle rounds, there was 4 in a row for FlipSid, then winning, through the next 5. And then FlipSid to close it out. Excuse me, they did FlipSid's. Kinguin to close it out with those last 3 rounds in a row and to win the half. But I think this gives FlipSid a very big opportunity here. We had talked in the first half about how we think their CT side will be pretty strong if it's anything like it was on Cash.
Yeah, I do also feel, though, that with Kinguin's side the way it is, that their entry fragging should be on point. So it's going to be an interesting clash of styles between these 2 juggernauts, as the second half is just about to get underway. I think this pistol's pretty crucial for FlipSid, maybe more so than Kinguin. But again, Kinguin, masters of pistol, so I would not be surprised if we see that Glock train rush in and just claim the frags and indeed the bomb plant and the round. Let's see what pays off here. Judging by their spawns and the way they're looking, I think Rain is going to look to push through mid or B. So this could be a B execute.
Yeah, a whole lot of armor here. And they will not go. Well, it still might be B, but if it's going to be B, it's B through Cat. As they try to get out really quick towards the mid, they will take Davcost out of the window. And now Range is going to go up towards the connector. And he's going to get a nice shot onto Blade as he's trying to fall away. I think he immediately dinks Bondic as well. Yeah, he did. He gets the assist. Makalele finished him off with a 12 HP. 5-on-2 right now. And this pistol round from Kinguin is just devastating FlipSid. And World Edit even going to get flashed. Just a flash coming out of that vent. And Markelov will find 2 frags on the round. I'll have to ace, though, if he wants to win this, and he does not have a kit.
I really like that play, honestly, because through mid, there's versatility in the respect that if you do get that first pick in window or connector, you can quickly change your decision. You can quickly change your mind. If you get a pick on short, it's the same thing. We can instantly push onto B site instead. They keep their options open. But more importantly, it plays to Kinguin's strengths. We've talked about this at length. They are aim masters. And if you're having the aim down mid from window to mid, you're always expecting Kinguin to come out on top and then push through connector. Great round from them. They've got their knight. They've got the pistol. And let's put them in good shape here. Again, though, we do see the 3 assault rifles and 2 SMGs identical to their cash strats.
Yeah. The only thing about going super fast towards mid like that is if that person from window just happens to land 2 headshots, as sometimes you will do, like, your strat is done. So it's a bit of a, obviously, inherent risk. But it worked out as they obliterated that guy in the window. But look at this! They work into A. There was a bit of a stack there with these pistols. And it's been Team Kinguin who just ran into a blender pretty much. And now the MP7s and the Galil are going the other way. Davcost with that scout he started with. And it looks like Bondic has a pretty good idea. And now he definitely will. But it won't help him. Makalele peeks out very quickly and removes him from the round. So he's still trying to fight, still trying to hold on. Maybe even to win it, but World Edit will seal the deal with the MP7.
Awesome strats from FlipSid. I think that they smoked Palace to stop NETs pushing through. They had Bondic, I think it was, that was up on the balcony just outside of Palace, and then this awesome crossfire of P250s. And because of the bottleneck of ramp, Kinguin had to all push through at the same time, and that played right into the CT's hands. So a bit of a misplay from Kinguin, really. They pushed through onto the site without many flashes or smokes, and effectively just give away assault rifles to CTs. So again, that's the risk that you take.
Yeah, so now also going for the force up, right? So starting to engage in that early game of economic chicken here in round 18. As Legia looking for the Juan Diggs, but he can't find him. Blade brings him down, but back to Lazy finds him. He's got the magic. He will be brought down, so 3-on-3, now just 2-on-2. Wow, lots of kills over toward that A site. Bomb going to go down here for Kinguin, so they've actually got a decent shot, and the force up has at least got them that bomb down, so more money in their pockets, win or lose. Let's see what happens if the Tech Knights won't reign supreme. It looks like they might. Fox peeks out to find Markelov. Oh, he's got a scout, which will switch to. I don't know about that decision. It might not matter as, yeah, Dennis is there on the backside of that. And he'll pick up that M4. So, well, very costly round. 9 people dead. But Team Kinguin, the force up will work, and this second half is off to a crazy start.
Yeah, and again, it's Dennis that's starting to separate himself from the herd. He's really starting to shine here. 19-7, doing a great job. Beautiful round as well from Kinguin, much needed. And, well, we spoke about the economic game of chicken. It looks like FlipSid are the first team to bow out. They had enough to potentially get sort of pistols with Kevlar, but opting for the longer game instead, which I feel is the wiser decision overall. So they're on an eco. We will be able to buy it next round, whatever happens here. Already you can see that Markelov has snaked his way into ladder, and this could prove to be a vital position going through into this round if short is pushed.
So it looks like Kinguin are pulling back and going all the way around towards spawn towards A, and it is kind of looking like their second round where they did have the 2 submachine guns and 3 rifles. This time, though, FlipSid, just with a few P250s. Davcost, though, does have a deagle. And you hear the shots landing here. Fox is going to find Markelov. It's up to Davcost to do any other damage, but he has been spotted. They know what's up. Fox still terrorizing them out towards the middle. Now he will fall at the top of the catwalk. And Legia might not be able to get this bomb down. Bondic's in the palace, and no one actually came through that way. He'll be cleaned up by Dennis, though. That's his 20th kill right there. Yes, it is. 20 kills for him. And Team Kinguin will take that round, losing only Fox.
Yeah, the reason why I kind of highlighted ladder as being maybe a pivotal part on this map for Markelov there, even though it was an A push, so it kind of neutralized that position, is that not only does it let you cover off short, but you can also peek down towards the mid boost, so you can almost cover off window as well. So it's a pretty sick position with a P215 and eco round, but unfortunately for him, A was pushed. He had to come out and try and get a bit of information in doing so. He got picked up from, I think it was Fox's MP7 in the end. So Kinguin now, 11-8 to the good. Have lost the first player, however, from Davkost, who was able to buy up that AWP after the previous saved round. So really starting FlipSid in good stead here in round 20.
Yeah, Davkost still being terrifying with that AWP. What's he up to on this half? He's at like 10 and 14 around this map, I mean. But he had some very key rounds still. Bondic up 13 to 15, so he's been performing from yesterday and even into today. They'll need to start making their comeback, though. Seems like a good round to do it, having got that man advantage early on, bringing down Makalele. Legia is also still on an MP7, so it's almost like 3.5 versus 5 in a rifle round at least. Well, a lot of head armor missing, so maybe if Legia's aim is on point, then MP7 will still be quite deadly, as all of them are trying to work into connector right now. Pop Flash is going in, and that hasn't really affected Davkost too much. He does have an op, and he does actually get rain. Legia was able to get in there and find the frag, but now he'll be the last man up, trying to get over towards that AWP, but he can't do it. World that it'll bring him down.
Kinguin were a bit unfortunate. They went for a pretty slick boost looking through window, but the spray wasn't on point, and they missed out on that frag and ultimately the round as well. But a good hold from FlipSid. They did keep the AWP. I've just noticed there it's been dropped on the ground from World Edit, so they're going to have Davkost with that all-big weapon once more. And yeah, you did call it. His stats aren't necessarily the best in the world, but he's got those crucial impact frags. Like, he's the guy that has been landing the shots, much like Fox as well. Both AWPers, I'd say, have been performing very well for both teams.
11 rounds to Kinguin, 9 to FlipSid. This will be a very important one for FlipSid. This will be the 2-for-1, right? This ties it up. Vitally important. The most important round we've had yet in this series.
I definitely agree, yeah.
Rain will spot Sparkalov. Even that flash didn't affect him at all, but it doesn't matter. Legia was able to get in there. Tech9 surprise. And that'll start them off on a really good note. Davkost is also quite hurt, so Kinguin looking to keep their lead and rebuild that economy.
I totally agree with what you said. I feel this is more important for FlipSid, though. Not only because they're behind, but also because of CT economy. So if they lose this, it's much more difficult for them to, force up a couple more rounds. Whereas, of course, on T side, you can even go for the force up with Tech9s, and that's still absolutely terrifying to play against. So I think the pressure's certainly on for both teams. FlipSid will be feeling it a bit more. But we'll let it in the corners. We get 3 frags, turning this round on its head. And I said it was a pressure round. We'll let it deliver in space, and there's Bondic as well. Makalele misses out on a frag opportunity. Great hold for FlipSid, and they keep 4 weapons on top of it.
Sometimes you shoot that AK and just expecting the headshot, and you don't get it. And you're like, oh crap, I gotta continue spraying. And I feel like that's what happened there as Bondic hit that last little flick shot, had the opportunity, as I think that was Makalele missing the shots over there. But it doesn't matter. The round at that point was already over. World Edit had won it on the other site with that triple spray down. And, I mean, 30 seconds. I feel like the spot shouldn't have gone unchecked, as Dennis had run past with his knife out. Bit of a blunder.
Agreed.
Now Davkost once again, impact frags. That one he peeks out. I saw a bit of the arm over the face doing the flashbang dance there in the window, but it doesn't matter. Davkost hitting all of these shots. Yes, they're on eco opponents, but with an op, you can argue that it doesn't really make a difference. 4K for him, and that puts him into the positive 16-15 scoreline.
And it was a 2-for-1 round, as you called as well. And I fully agree with what you said. It's a position you have to check. It's not an uncommon position. It's a very scary position, as we saw there. Well, actually cleaned up.
A crappy position for the CT if you actually do have people with the T side coming up catwalk.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, what I was going to say, no utility was used from Kinguin, and they had plenty. No smokes, no flashes, nothing to try and force him out of position, or indeed on the site as well. So they've kind of fell prey to that a couple times now, and I'm hoping they're going to fix that in the future. But here we go. So an execute onto A side.
Bondik's still in a very good spot. He's going to be able to get one from the other side, though, through the smoke, I think. Either killed or assisted on. No, was actually killed from that position. And the set A take has been a bit problematic. That put Davcost out of position to hit those early shots. Bondik found one, but Blade went down without a fight. And the bomb now to be planted. 4-on-3. Advantage for Kinguin. Wanted to get their lead right back. Well, that they're moving in. Oh, almost brings him down. There's Davcost with the op. Rain now quite low, but he's already found a 2K on the round. Molotov to clear the site, but as we can see, not quite needed. Davcost still just hitting these shots, however. And that smoke up the palace. If it lands right, oh, it actually might land behind. So that'll, yeah, Markelov will just peek out ahead of it. And nice play from him to bring down Makalele. Now it's up to Legia, who will spray them both down. Wow.
Well, I take back everything I said. You know, I was saying they're going to be hampered by Scream. Legia just stands tall, delivers a fatal blow. And FlipSid lose the round. A round that they would have desperately wanted to pick up and really should have picked up, honestly, in that 1v2. But instead, 24th round is seeing Kinguin take the lead. Just though, this has been such a close map so far, Joey. It's been fantastic to cast, and I think there's still a few twists and turns along the way up ahead.
Yeah, this has a pretty windy second half, that's for sure. Tons of rounds back and forth, even a couple streaks back and forth. The biggest, though, being FlipSid with the 3 in a row they had just taken. Kinguin, of course, striking her right back in the last one that we saw there with the heroics by Legia getting that spray down and the lead. And looking at the money of the CTs in a very difficult position right now. World Edit's got a bit, but that won't matter if the 4 of his allies are Baroque. So Kinguin in a 2-for-1 to push out towards the end. World Edit trying to make that big play, going for that flashbang we so often see. No one actually looking at it. He doesn't even peek off of it. And now the nades are coming in. They know that he's there. They've got him down to 28 HP. He is still alive, though. Markelov, yeah, able to get a kill. World Edit did assist on. He falls back to bench. Markelov actually finds 2, and now 3! Finally brought down by Rain. World Edit 17 HP, playing in bench. They still haven't got rid of that threat. They don't even know where he's gone, right? Now, Makalele trying to go through. He will find Blade. Completely unaware still. Oh, he did actually catch that. That World Edit had slid over towards the bench. So beautiful shots here by Makalele, and that'll bring it to a 2-on-2, but time is getting low. Terrorists have got to get the bomb down. They don't even have it picked up yet.
20 seconds. They know one of the players will be abs, and Makalele delivers the fatal blow. It's all on Davcost. He's the peak, and Makalele with another. Gets 4 plays in this round. Single-handedly takes it down for Kinguin. And once again, FlipSid lose a round they would have been favourites for. What was that, a 4-on-2, I think?
Yeah. Markelov got the initial opening frags and then went down, so I think that sounds about right.
Oh, that's so brutal.
I can't believe that Makalele figured out what World Edit was up to, that he slid back over to that bench. I thought for sure, even though World Edit was on just 17 HP, that he was going to find that frag onto Makalele, but no, he was too quick. And I think that was his 3rd off kill there. And then, of course, closing it out onto the last player on the catwalk. So very nicely done. And now Kinguin are going to be able to push out to 14. And that always puts the CTs in a very rough spot. Not only were their economies kind of just be coming back online, but it gets them to the spot where they will always have to buy if they want to still play out for the win. And it looks like Kinguin will be getting to that goal. Legia now getting these shots. Bondik might bring him down. Actually, if they can save an AK here, Legia is very, very low. That flash might just save him. Bondik now able to see again, but will fall. An AK into the hands of CTs would have been disastrous. Well, not disastrous. That's maybe over the top. But it would have been great for FlipSid to not have to spend so much money on this round.
Exactly, because then if they lose this, they could have potentially got another weapon in the 27th round, a 15-11 behind. So, yeah, that would have been massive for them. Kinguin, though, are now 14-11 to the good. And FlipSid, although they do have a pretty solid, healthy, hearty buy, again, as you said, it's that pressure. They're on the 14th round. This is always the danger zone for the CTs. We've seen that FlipSid have crumbled a tiny bit in these last few rounds. They've made a couple mistakes. Maybe, again, it's that indecision that's coming to haunt them once more. But they know where at least 2 players are right now.
Yeah, right? No, I'm sure those are decoys.
Yeah, the bullets coming through from the decoys.
Yeah, that's it. It's the next level decoys. They cost like $1,000 to actually shoot bullets.
Like sentry turrets that you can put on the map.
We're TF2 now.
Yep, the engineer.
Alright, Kinguin trying to work out onto this A side. Dab cost, though, from that A connector. He brings down Rain, who was trying to work in on the flank, but this is all just a fake. Smoke and mirrors over at the A site, and Legion is actually going to start pulling back. He's going to kind of set up to the lurk position, because he knows it's going to be up to Makalele and the B squad to try to force those rotations that Legia can then capitalize on. Or, no, Legia's actually still trying to take this battle over here. He's still throwing out smokes and flashes, or rather just flashes. And World Edit, he will spot them. He missed. He didn't even land a shot. That could be a problem. Markelov, though, here to help out. Dennis and Makalele finding those frags. World Edit will get Makalele. He won't be bested this time. So 2-on-2. Legia is making his rotation back. He's toward the middle, and he will not be able to catch off Bondik, as Bondik going over towards CT and into Market.
Again, though, it's another round on the flip side. Should be picking this up, but it's on Legia. He's already pulled off a 1v2 clutch. He does have the advantage of the bomb being down for him. There's the first one. He's down to 34, but Blade's not necessarily full HP either. He's looking to peek with that knife. It gives him a little bit more movement speed. He gets tagged just on the shoulder as he goes for the peek. Blade is just about to defuse once more. He's actually going to fake that out for Legia. He's thrown that, trying to pull off the flash, and now he should be peeking just now. There's a second lapse, and he picked up the frag. And that is going to be 15-11. Legia pulls off another 1v2 clutch.
Yeah, and that's one of those 1v1s that really was just a coin flip, right? Legia just had to gamble. He was, going for the quick little knife peeks or whatnot. But there was at one point where it was a pretty long time that he didn't go for any information, and that could have easily been the defuse for FlipSid, but he didn't quite go for it. Legia, getting even tagged up when he was speaking with that knife, brought down to something like 7 HP, was definitely very in the red. Even throwing the fake flash at the end with his pistol is hilarious and ineffective, but it doesn't matter. He'd already, beat the clock down. This could now be, well, the last round, but FlipSid making a stand. They're trying to come back. They're trying to play for the tie. And, well, here they are, right back on track. And Team Kinguin's money is not actually so good.
Yeah, not great. I'd like to see them just eco this one against the smart play. Just going to have full AKs. And I think that's pretty much what they're going to do as well.
We'll put a lot of pressure on that round 29, though.
It will. Yeah, round 29 is kind of do or die almost for them. Best case scenario for FlipSid is overtime. They have ticked the first box on their road to overtime. But they've got 3 more challenges ahead of them. Here's the first one. This should be the easier of the challenges, so I've got to say. There is Kevlar on Fox and Dennis, but no grenades at all. And that grenade chunks down 2 players from short. A very nicely timed grenade there from Markelov, I think it was, who then smokes afterwards, looking for that flashbang. So they're keeping the terrorists at bay, but the first frag goes to Kinguin from Fox's Tech 9. And the second as well.
You don't want to lose a match like this. Up against that. Eco only had 2 players with armor. It looks like they might have just brought it back, though. Legia will fall over towards A. So it is a 2-on-2 now. No armor on Rain or Makalele, even though they have got a Tech 9 and an M4 A1S. Can be a bit dangerous. Makalele going through, going to take some damage through those metal shelves, but he'll retreat and stay alive. Bomb to be planted here, so more money coming in on that round 29. We talked about Markelov still fighting, still getting those headshots, and almost brought down by Makalele, who I guess can't finish the kill because of aim punch.
Yeah. They went to the sky almost there. Very unfortunate, but a good hold from FlipSid in the end. But again, that's an eco, and they lost 3 players. So looking at their economy, this could actually put them in a really bad spot. Let's see. They've got 2 players that can drop at least, but I have a feeling they may be onto a FAMAS or maybe even a 5-7. No, I'm completely off there. They do have enough. Should be fine.
All right, so here it is. That round 29. Davkost with his op. Fox with his. I'll see who might be the better opper. It could just come down to that because both of them had such a good performance. Davkost 20 for 20 here. 21-21 on Fox. But a lot of those kills, very, very impactful for both of them on the round that their teams have won. Uh-oh! Makalele taking so much damage back through that wall. And the 19 HP from that.
It's a costly peak, to say the least. This does, however, mean that FlipSid losing 3 players in the previous round, if they lose this, well, obviously it's not going to matter, but if they lose, say, 3 or 4 weapons, then this could hamper their 30th round effort. So, Kinguin, maybe even if they take 3 or 4 weapons away from FlipSid, that could be job done here. They've taken heavy damage in the form of Makalele again through the wooden panels. But it looks like they're going for this delayed push onto B. Not for the first time either, and maybe getting a bit predictable for FlipSid.
Well, this time they are holding some smokes, and it looks like they're going to throw the set smokes. You can see that Makalele is ready to drop his, but I think is that the smoke that just goes into window? So he's not even throwing a smoke out towards B, but it might not matter. Fox is going to get that shot onto Davcon, so that opens up the B's sight. You do have your man World Edit there playing on that cap position, but they were splitting, and Legia is able to bring him down from behind. Markelov shuts down Rand, who is also lurking out there for the side of Kinguin, but it's a 4-on-3 right now. Retake situation is go here for the CTs. Blade going to be the first one there. Bondik and Markelov also going to be helping out. Markelov, the only man coming from Cat, and now no man coming from Cat. It's just Bondik left alone in the market. He wished he was here on different circumstances, maybe just looking for a snack, but he's got to defuse a bomb and he can't do it. Dennis brings him down, and it's Kinguin to close it out with the 2-0, winning this map 16-13.
Great map of Counter-Strike. Really enjoyed that. Both teams giving it their all. Kinguin, though, their kind of skill and their teamwork at the end just showed out there, and they performed pretty magnificently. I will say a couple rounds off from FlipSid were really thrown away. They should have got more rounds. There's a couple 1v2s, a couple of 2v3s, even a 5v2, I think, that they lost. These are rounds that you have to lock down if you want to beat the likes of Kinguin. So, kind of unfortunate, but the deserved winners in the end, Kinguin 2-0.
Yeah, FlipSid, though, still looking good, right? They've made that substitution for Davcost. It seems like he's really working out for them, so they can, figure out exactly what's going wrong, isolate some of those problem areas, and fix them up. They can be a very quality team, and I would still expect them to make it through into the professional league, because this was the upper bracket. It's a best of 3 all the way through, double elimination bracket, so FlipSid will still have a fighting chance. And actually, I want to check out who are they going to go down and play against, but give me a moment to pull those brackets up. I'm very prepared, but I'm skilled. So we can see Kinguin is going to move forward. They're going to be facing the winner of the match we're about to watch. That'll be Pat coming in for me, or Sabo, and Metuz will be continuing on. But that'll be Property versus eFrag, and FlipSid have dropped to face the winner of either Rockhat or Infinity. So yeah, I would favor FlipSid. Actually, still favoring FlipSid throughout this lower bracket. Their hardest match, if they make it through, will be in lower bracket round 3, where they'd most likely face Hellraisers again. And they'd have to make it past lower bracket round 3 into the qualification round. Actually, we're only taking 2 teams. Is that really all we're taking? That's a bit crazy. So yeah, maybe it will still be fairly difficult for them. They won't have to face Kinguin again, though, because Kinguin, if they win one more, they'll be in. So that's how the brackets are working out. And real quick, before we go, what do we want to do first? Let's do the Season 8 registration. It's now open, guys. Make sure to sign up. You can see on the screen there, we've got $175,000. Premium game servers, free and paid divisions in both NA and Europe. We've got our anti-cheat, CEVO's anti-cheat, as well as VAC on the servers. So doubling down on that. And, of course, the LAN finals for the Pro League, November 6th to 8th in Columbus, Ohio. So register now, CEVO.com/season8. Also, we're looking for more help, particularly in the North American region. So if you want to become a part of the CEVO TV production staff, you can do so. CEVO.com/jobs. Producers, in-game camera, broadcast talent, and video editors for that. And with that, we are done. And you can follow me on Twitter at HeliumBrella, Metuz here at MetuzTV, and stay tuned for that next game, Property versus eFrag, coming up here, mlg.tv/playcevo.